Hey guys, this is Rusty again with Collector Auctions. I have got a new video for you today. It is a CGC unboxing. Now I'm pretty excited about this. It has been about a month since I've got my last CGC order in. This order is pretty special. Let's get into it. So this order right here was a 9.8 pre-screen submission. It was a modern order. There are some really good books in this. There's a lot of value in this. But what makes this order special was not only did I do a pre-screen 9.8, I also had CGC clean and press these books. Now this was submitted before I actually learned how to clean and press my own books. If this was today, I would have clean and pressed every one of these myself. And then I would have figured out if I really wanted to submit them, if I felt like it met a 9.8, or maybe I lowered the grade and saw value in maybe a lower grade. But I went straight for the top ring. I went for a 9.8 on these. It was a gamble. If these did not hit a 9.8, it was possible that none of them were going to hit a 9.8 rather. And like I said, it was a gamble. I had them work on it. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. It took a while. As I said, I sent this out at the end of April. To give you some data on this, it was April 29th when I mailed this out. It didn't arrive in their system until end of May, maybe around the 30th. I don't have the exact day on that one. It went to CCS. They worked on the books. It finally arrived at CGC on October 20th of this year. And finally, it got finished, graded, everything, shipped out on December 9th. And I just got it back here a few days ago on December 18th. So, as I said, I was pretty excited. Obviously, I got some books in this box right here. I did not cheat. I did not go online. I did not look at the grade. I knew it got shipped. I did look at the price I got charged because I was curious, and I knew I wasn't going to get 25 out of 25, but my guess was I was going to end up with, if I figured it right, I was going to end up with 9, maybe 10 books that didn't get graded out of 25. As it turned out, I believe I got 18 books here. So it's pretty good. So, all right, so let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, guys, if you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel. I hope you guys like this kind of content. I do a lot of CGC unboxings. I do a lot of comic book hauls. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up on the video to show your support. And as always, please leave comments. What do you think about the books that I'm sending in? Usually the question is, have I lost my mind on these? But I'm having fun with it. Books like this, a lot of these I'm speculating on. They will be for sale, usually in my eBay store. If you are ever interested in any of the books you see in my videos, just contact me at collectorauctions@yahoo.com. Alright guys, let's get into the video, or get into the box rather. Alright. Oh! As I said, we came out pretty good on this. Much better than I expected. I actually went through my list and I said, well, which ones do I think won't make the grade? I should have done that before I ever sent it out, but I was kind of going on what books did I think were going to have the most trouble getting that grade. And I kind of went on books that had a lot of age and everything, and as it turned out, I was pretty wrong on some of these. So, all right, let's go start with them right here. We'll start with number 1. We got Avengers 684, and this is the first appearance of the Immortal Hulk. So it's probably not as hot. A lot of these books won't be as hot as they were when I sent them out. As I said, all these were at the end of April, so they've been sitting there for a long time. There is still some value in these books, and we'll figure that out as we go along, but still happy with it. 9.8 on this. Now this book did not have a lot of damage to begin with. Minor damage that I figured that anybody with any ability could probably get out. So again, I was pretty happy with that. Alright, we've got New 52 Batman number 2. And I guess this is the Talon's first appearance. I'm not sure. I didn't really read these that much at the time, but I know there were some values in the first few issues on this, Court of Owls and all that. But I ended up sending out issues 2 and 3 here. And I got 9.8s on both of those. So that was pretty nice. Those are really nice. Alright, this is a book that I got into late, but it's not even the most popular cover to this. This is the Hell, You're the Villain, Hell Arisen #3. It's the first appearance of Punchline. It is the variant cover though. And I got the one that I could afford at the time, and real happy with that. It had minor damage over there, creases, came out real nice, 9.8 on that. I was so late to the Punchline game on that. I kind of missed all that. I wasn't really into DC when all that was starting to happen and everything. I've since gotten back into DC a lot, so we'll see. We'll see where things go. It seems like Punchline's really cooled off, but she's still a very popular character. Now here's a book that I'm really happy with, and I was thinking this is one of the ones I did not think was going to meet. This is meet a 9.8. This is Spider-Man 375. It has that gold foil cover, and I've had a couple of copies of this that, boy, if it picks up any kind of crease in this cardstock, it's really, I don't think you can actually get it out. So I was real happy with this one. This matches, I've got the Italian version of this as well as a 9.8, so it's an interesting pairing of those. But I was real happy with this one. The Mark Bagley artwork, that's a beautiful Mark Bagley Spawn and Spider-Man. Very, very excited about that. And going with the Spider-Man, here's one of my favorite covers of all time. I particularly like the silver version. This is Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man, issue #1, the silver version. This is my favorite cover of the ones. I didn't particularly like the gold, and the full color one I thought was atrocious. That was just a vomit color on that cover, to be honest. That's my opinion. This one, I think Spider-Man pops more on this cover and just looks absolutely gorgeous. So 9.8 on that. Alright, so I dug into some of my old Silver Surfers, and I found one of the Thanos issues. I believe this is the second. Is this the second issue with Thanos in the Silver Surfer run? But I sent that out. That pressed out real nice. Got a 9.8 on that one. This is issue 35. Yeah, 35. Alright, here is just an absolutely gorgeous Joe Quesada cover for New Avengers #1. And I remember I had this book. It literally was sitting on the shelf over here, over on this side over here, and the shelf, it probably sat there for 10, 12 years. Bagged, it was at the time, it still had a $20 price tag on it. I don't remember where I got it. I don't remember why I got it, but it was sitting there, and I'm going, oh, let's get it. It's a $20 book. We'll just throw it into the order. It had a little bit of damage over here, which kind of pissed me off because of, you know, put that any kind of money in that, and you get a book and it has a little bit of damage. You're expecting a, they say near mint, but you know what, we always expect that to be a mint book, don't we? Very little damage, but as I said, I didn't clean and press at the time. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have presses. Since then, I've got several presses, and I'm very confident with that. I'm very confident doing my own cleaning and pressing, and I'm sure I could have gotten this one to the same spot that CGC did. But that is an absolute gorgeous cover. If I hadn't submitted this, I would have had it on hand and taken it to Baltimore Comic Con and had Joe Quesada sign it. As it was sitting on CGC. Alright guys, this is a big book right here. This is the Invincible Iron Man #7. It is the first appearance of Riri Williams. I think this is just the regular cover. I'm not sure about all the variants and things like that, but I know that what this issue is. This is the regular cover. Just absolutely gorgeous. Just a gorgeous cover. Real happy with the 9.8 on that. That's got some nice value to that one. Alright, now here's one that I thought was not going to meet the 9.8, and I said that simply because it was just an older issue and wasn't sure if it was going to meet it, but I love this cover. It's Wolverine number 10 with some wonderful Bill Sienkiewicz artwork right there, one of my favorite artists. If I ever turn the camera right here to over that way, you'll see some beautiful Electra posters that I had Bill Sienkiewicz sign. Maybe someday I'll turn the camera. But this right here, 9.8 on that. Really happy with that. The value has got to be in the 9.8 on this. I think the value on something like this drops off significantly. So very happy with that. All right, next I got one that didn't have a lot of damage. I was pretty confident this would have been okay. This is Batman number 612, one of the Jim Lee storylines, the Hush storyline. This is the cover with the issue with Superman in it. Beautiful Jim Lee cover, just absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if this is one of the highest values in that run, but I think it is. I think that's why I picked it out. And like as I said, the damage over here was not significant. I felt like it was a good candidate to get pressed out. At the time, I was learning how to really look at the books and everything, even though I wasn't cleaning and pressing myself. It was in the early stages of me really being able to evaluate the books. And I'm going to actually have some other orders just like this coming in, hopefully over the next few months. I've got multiple orders in just like this one, where I put a Prescreen 9.8. I'm having CGC work on the books, and I'm rolling the dice. So there's going to be several more of these kind of orders just like this one. Now this is Silk number 1. I think this is her first series. This is back from 2015, and I don't remember any much damage on this other than maybe a minor spine kick or something, but or crease. But 9.8 on that. Real happy to have that one. I don't think that's a super valuable book or anything. All right, now this book's got a little bit of value. It's not the best of the three, but it is the third issue in the beginnings of Carnage. This is Spider-Man 363. I had already gotten back, I think I've gotten back my 361. I've got one of those back at a 9.6. I think I still have 2 more being worked on, and I know I've gotten the next one, 362, back as the 9.8. Again, another book that they worked on got me a 9.8 on that one, so I was real happy with that. I don't think that was part of a pre-screen, though. So this is real nice. That'll match up with the other ones real nice. All right, this was an issue of Spider-Man. This is issue 529. This is the first appearance of the new Spider-Man costume. And of course, we were seeing that in the new Spider-Man movie and the last few Spider-Man movies in the Avengers and everything. He's got the Iron Spider suit and everything. So this is a really cool issue. I don't think it's super valuable. It's got a little bit of value to it, but well, I'm sure it had a little bit of value because it was something I selected to send in. But yeah, real happy they were able to work out any of the small damages with that. All right, now here's a book that I've actually gotten back before. I had multiple copies of this. This is X-Force number 2. And my previous ones I've gotten back, I think I've at least gotten one of them back as a 9.8, and I think it was one of the ones I worked on. And this is one that I sent to them to work on. It's probably one of the best copies I sent for them to work on, and they got a 9.8 out of this one too. So a new copy of that. Now this is the second full appearance of Deadpool. I think that's the significance of this. So that's a real nice. That's another book. It doesn't have a lot of value, even at a 9.8. It's an okay value, but you would think as a second, even just a second appearance, you would end up with a lot more value than that. But there's also a million copies of those out there too. They really printed a lot of those copies back in the 90s. All right, now here's an issue that I've been buying multiple copies of this, trying to get to a 9.8. And it is Batman 457. It is the first appearance of Tim Drake as Robin, and that's the significance of this issue. That's why it's a big issue, and I've been having trouble getting a really clean copy of this, and I'm shocked on this one. I thought the damage on this one was going to be significant enough that they weren't going to get a 9.8. The copies that I have picked up. The fronts just look great. Couldn't be better. But then on the back, usually somewhere in this color area, I'm finding these creases. And I'm getting to the point where I think it's a printer defect, because I literally got 2 issues where the crease is almost in the exact same spot. And I'm going, well, I can't even get this out. I use a roller ball or ball bearing, and I some heat and pressing and everything else, and I can get it smooth, but I can't get that complete crease out. So I can't tell you how happy I am to get this one as a 9.8. So that right there is a win. It makes the struggle with all the other ones, I don't want to say worth it, but knowing that I've got this makes any kind of failure I have on that end a little bit better. All right, last 2 books I've got in here. I gotta say, these are complete wins in my case, in this right here, because I didn't think we were going to get it. I pictured both of these. The damage, the scuffing that can happen to the back of these issues is significant. It is usually it's a solid color pretty much on the back, and you know what I'm talking about. I've got issues number 2 and issue number 3 of The Watchmen. Now, I knew both of these were good candidates if with a good press clean that should come out as a 9.8. But if you know anything about the backs of this book, now these are issues 2 and 3, so it's early. You see almost a solid black cover with the blood drip coming down. Now when you get to issue 12, I think it's completely red. And the same problem, you'll still have scuffing on that red just like you will the black, but boy is this tough. I've got some issue 1s that look great on the front, spine ticks I can get out, but the back, it's just that scuffing on these solid colors is tough. So anyway, I got 9/8 on issues 2 and 3. I am super stoked about this. At this point, these are books that meant a lot to me back in college, along with the Dark Knight Returns books. Those were my favorite books in college, and I think these will be in the PC for a long time. So very happy to own both of those as a 9.8. Now the goal is to get some of those issue 1s up, and I've got a whole stack in the workshop right now of all the other issues that they've been pressed, they've been cleaned. I've worked on the spines on a lot of those, and we're gonna end up submitting those too. I just don't know if we're gonna get 9/8 on many more of those. But I've got a couple candidates of issue 1 that I've picked up I had my own issue, and then I've picked up a couple issues over the last couple months, and I'm going to try to we'll work on those 2. They'll get submitted. Hopefully we get a 9.8, at least on that issue 1 at some point. That's something I want to have for my PC. Alright guys, that was the end of the books that got graded. Here are the books that did not meet the 9.8. And as I said, CGC worked on these. So, money went into these books, and at first glance, when I pulled them out, they're all looking super good. So I'm going to I always say on the Prescreen, I need to really look at these, but the fact that they worked on these books and they didn't get a 9.8, I've got to look at them again and see if it's something where maybe I can do a little bit more work, or maybe it's going to be just a clean submission again, and I'll send it in straight. But I sent in issue 34 of Silver Surfer. That was the first Thanos issue right there. And Batman, the New 52, #1. That's the book I really wanted as a 9.8 out of those 3. But I thought that this one, I remember there being some damage to this, so I'm not sure. Hopefully it's something I can work on a little bit more, but we'll see. I have a fear right now that there's going to be a color break someplace. Alright, we got Brand New Day, Spider-Man. This is issue number 546. And then we've got issue 55, the new Spider-Man. This is I believe, the second printing of the Patrick Gleason webhead right here. Very disappointed in this. I have not had any luck with the webheads. I've got one of my previous submissions that I had worked on. I had version 3, I guess the third printing with the white web head, and I got 9 6s on all 3 of those. Just highly disappointing. So here's issue number, or second printing, and got a, didn't get graded at all. So we'll look at that again. Maybe we'll resubmit it. I sent in the 100th issue of Walking Dead. This is first appearance of Negan. And then the 2 of the bigger disappointments was this, the New 52. This is Suicide Squad #1. This is a surprisingly expensive issue. I don't know what the significance is, but I was a little shocked at the price. This is a book I think I was going to give this to my daughter just as, like, hey, you're a big Harley Quinn fan, here, take this. It's a great Harley Quinn cover. And then lastly, here, let me move this thing. Got a little help here. This is Lucky. He decided to come up and help a little bit. Let's move these out of the way. And then the last one I got here, again, another disappointment, was Marvel Point 1. This is the first appearance of the new Nova here. And I thought this was a super good candidate to get a 9.8. So disappointed on that. We'll take a look. We'll see what happens with these. Maybe they'll get resubmitted straight up, but my guess is they're all going to get evaluated. They'll all get probably repressed if necessary. Maybe I'll clean up the spines if necessary, whatever it takes, and then I'll evaluate it and I'll go back and check the values. Maybe there's values at 9.6s on some of these that I can go ahead and still resubmit them. Maybe it's just a straight up submission where I don't do a pre-screen. All to be determined, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, that is it. That is the last of the video today, last of the books. Please, if you like this video, as I said at the beginning, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And as always, hit the subscribe button. Tell your friends about it. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm welcome anybody to the channel. Please leave comments. Let me know what you think of these books. I'd love to hear from you. And that's about it, guys. You take care. If I don't talk to you guys beforehand, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.